happy shiny puppy. This is Melody Fletcher, and I teach the law of attraction and the technology of reality to highly intellectual overthinkers just like you in a way that actually makes some freaking sense. And today I want to answer a question from Jürgen, who wanted to know what exactly is a light worker? You know, you've heard me use the term light worker, I'm sure, and you've heard many, many others use it, and I'm sure you've read it all over the place. It's everywhere. And it's kind of become synonymous with healer or teacher, yeah, or helper. But what exactly is a light worker? And Jürgen wanted to know, what do they actually even do, like, for humanity? And are they special? Do they have special abilities? Are they chosen? Do they volunteer? Like, what's the deal with light workers? So I'm very, very happy to answer that question. I think it's an excellent one. And I think that it can help me clear up some misconceptions along the way. So first of all, I don't really like the term light worker. And the reason for that is because most people who identify as light workers, they have a really overdeveloped sense of obligation towards others, which is not helpful and really kind of gets in the way. And so they tend to put a lot of emphasis on the worker part. They turn it into a job, into an obligation. And that really also is quite destructive, really, to their energy. It doesn't help. And it can often really become an obstacle. So, I think, more accurately, we could say light bringer, light shiner, but none of that is really, it's not semantically nice. Yeah. So maybe we can use the term light being. Yeah. So what is a light being? Well, I don't mean to imply that other people who are not light beings, don't have any light or aren't shining light. We're just sort of, it's the difference between a light bulb and the sun. Yeah. A light being is really a being, and let's say a human being, a person, a soul within a human body that is here to help bring light. Yeah. And consequently, because we are in the time of ascension right now, there are more light beings on the planet than ever before. Tons more, loads more, all supporting this process. A lot of them human, not all of them. Take that any way you wish. Yeah. A lot of them are animals also. Yeah. And of course, then there are other beings that could be here, depending on your belief system. And many of them are light beings as well. So what does a light being do? Well, they shine. They bring light. They do their job just by showing up. You walk in the room, you give something your attention, it's going to lighten that situation up. Yeah. We've all known somebody like that. And chances are very good, if you're watching this video, you are a light being. And so hopefully you've had that experience where you've certainly had the experience. Whether or not you notice that you were having the experience or validated as such is another matter. But when you walk in a room, you make it lighter. You make people feel better. Yeah. And that isn't because you're so wise, even though you might be wise, but it is your energy that does it. You shine light. What that also means, and this is in direct response to whether or not you're vibrationally stable, yeah, but what it also does is if you shine your light on somebody who doesn't want it shown on them, oh my God, my grammar has gone out the window, yeah, who doesn't want anything illuminated, they may react badly to you. They may try to shut down your light. And most of us, this happened to when we were children. Yeah, people tried to shut down our light because they didn't like what it was illuminating. And so what happens when you're vibrationally stable is if somebody like that comes into your vicinity, they just sort of ping away. They just get away from you. You're never even aware of them. But when you're not vibrationally stable, what happens is they try to shut you down. Yeah. And how do you become vibrationally stable? You own your light. You don't apologize for it. You don't ask for permission, so it's kind of like being the sun, S-U-N, not S-O-N. The sun doesn't care if somebody puts on SPF 250. Yeah. It doesn't care if you get into a lead lined box and block it out. it just keeps on shining, and it makes all life on earth possible because of it. Huge, huge benefit because of the light. And it's not, should the sun really worry about a few people who are like, no, not sun? Yeah. We would all, not benefit from that. We'd all be dead, basically, if the sun decided to not, to ask permission from those few people rather than just doing what it's designed to do. And so light beings bring light into situation. They bring light to the world. They help to uplift everyone. And like I said, in this time of ascension, there are more light beings on this earth than ever before, by, exponentially. And so if you are drawn to this information, if you're watching this video and others like it, you're a light being, you're a light worker. Yeah. But don't put the emphasis on the work. Yeah. Because you're doing your job, so to speak, just by being here. Job done. You get a promotion. You're good. You've done it. You don't need to worry about anything else. Go have fun. Yeah. And your work, if there is any, isn't to uplift others. That's going to happen automatically. What your work really is for you to give yourself continuously more and more permission to actually shine your light. It benefits you, and it inadvertently, as a knock-on effect, benefits everyone around you. So now to the part of the question, where do light beings come from? Are we chosen? Do we volunteer? It is a voluntary thing. It is a voluntary thing. Yeah. It is never thrust upon you. It is never something that, that's assigned. Yeah. It is always, always voluntary. Yeah. So, you come knowing that, that you're going to come into a denser energy, that you're going to bring light into that. You even come knowing it's going to be difficult at first. Yeah. And the most powerful light workers I know, all of them have had a rough start, have had a difficult childhood. And here's why. There is a reason for that. And it's sort of inevitable that it happens, but it's also actually quite beneficial, even though it sucks at the time. I will totally admit that. Yeah. But in hindsight, it's actually incredibly useful, because here's what it is. You come as a light being. So it's like you have the light inside you, but it's sort of shining brighter right from the start. Yeah. Than people who come for another reason. And there are people on the earth who are here, to experience a different game. But if you're not playing that game, you won't really be aware of them. You're not going to be aware of that game. Everything in your reality is geared towards this ascension. If you're aware of it, that's what we're doing. That's the game that we're playing. Yeah. So you come into this much denser energy with a sort of a stronger light. It's more exposed, and then what happens is, well, like I said, usually somebody tries to shut you down because it's too bright. You're illuminating things they don't want to see. And you're not yet stable because, hey, you just came to a new planet. You don't yet know how it works. How could you possibly be stable? And that backlash, that attempt to sort of shut you down, to push it down, to block it out, creates pressure within you that eventually causes you to bust out of that. Yeah. To say, no, I am going to do what I'm here to do, what I'm here to do. I'm no longer going to ask for permission. You would never step into your power the same way if you didn't have that catalyst. Yeah. So it happens because you're coming into a denser energy with a brighter energy, with a lighter energy. That already creates pressure in itself, but also it's sort of, has a useful quality that it causes you to bust out in a bigger way than you ever would, shine brighter than you ever would any other way. And so that's why I'm saying the more powerful the light worker, the rougher the start usually. Yeah. So it is kind of a necessary evil, although not anymore. For the kids that are born after about 2000, they're like a different species. They don't buy into any of this anymore. There's a completely different template for them. And you should probably make a video about that, right? Okay. So it is entirely voluntary. Nothing is stressed upon you, and you're actually excited to come and do this before you come. And so are you a light worker? If you're watching this video, chances are very, very, very good that you are. If you're wondering if you're a light worker, you are. Let me put it that way. Yeah. And what is your job? Your job is to be here, to shine your light, and anything you can do to own that more is going to not only strengthen you and shine your light brighter, but what it will do is make your own experience more fun, a lot more fun. It is not your job to suffer. It is not your job to help others. You're going to do that just by being here. Yeah, you have no obligation other than to, and it's, in fact, if you focus on having fun, you're going to shine your light brighter. If you focus on giving yourself permission to own your light, to not ask others for permission to be able to shine it, you're going to become more and more stable, and you're going to shine brighter and brighter. You're going to benefit humanity and yourself more and more and more, and it's going to get more and more fun for you. So let's take the emphasis off the light worker, and let's be light beings, each and every one of us. So with that in mind, I want to say thank you for bringing your light to the world. You're starting to see why I say that? And I'm sending you smushy, smushy hugs, and I'll see you next week. Bye.